Brightest blessings, this is Raven, and today we're going to have a quick catch up. We're going to look at some ephemera that I've been making. We're going to talk about some new Etsy digital kits that are listed now on my Etsy shop, and we're also going to have a quick look at all the research I've been doing so far with the Bougie Pagan Challenge. So, first things first, if you hear Douglas in the background, I do apologise. He's been so well behaved all day while I've been getting things sorted and doing housework, and as soon as I turn the camera on, he starts. So hopefully this is probably the third time I've tried to film, so I'm hoping he's quiet enough now that we can get this done. So the first kit is the vintage butterfly kit, which is on the Etsy, as I said. The Etsy shop, my Etsy shop, will be listed below. So in this kit, it includes 2 pages, A4 in size, but this would also fit on US, I think it's letter size that we call it here in the UK. It would just obviously scale it down a little, and you would have more room on the end if you were using A4 paper. So it includes 2 full art pages that you can use in your journals. And these are designed to be printed and folded in half so that you have pages like that, you see. Now these I haven't backed, but there is also a vintage backing kit of papers that you can use on the Etsy shop as well. I think I've uploaded 4 or 5 new kits on there today. I've been ever so busy, so yeah, it's all on the Etsy. And they all sort of coordinate together. And I started this one before starting the Bougie Pagan Challenge about butterflies and, you know, butterfly magic and symbolism. But this is really what inspired it. So obviously you have the freebies that are on my Facebook page. Again, that's linked below. But I also wanted to make some journal pages. So there will be more of these. I'm just finishing those off, and they'll probably be up by the start of next week. So yeah, this is the first page. Lots of bright colours, but neutral in the background, so that it's easy for you to write all your information on. And I've tried to make it so that, you know, there is enough room to add a tag or, you know, whatever you want to add on those 2. So that's the first one. This is the second one. And we have lines on this side, but plain this side. So you can see they correlate quite nicely. Very different pages, but would quite easily work together in any journal, really, or book of shadows. So that's those. And then included in that kit also is 3 pages of ephemera that you can print out and cut out. And I've tried to make these all different sizes using a variety of butterflies, so that they will match anything that you're doing. I've also made sure that a lot of these will fit onto these pages as an extra thing if you wanted to use them. I wanted to also look at having people in some of my ephemera. So I do have some people. Randomly, a man with a tennis racket, I thought it just made me giggle and I had to use him. So he's there. We've got a lovely lady here with some nice blue butterflies. And then the last one, we have another lovely envelope and some more young ladies here with the butterfly too. So yeah, that is the vintage butterflies ephemera kit. There is also some butterfly vintage papers, which I haven't printed out yet, but they are on the Etsy. So if you want to go and have a look at the Etsy shop, everything is listed on there, and it is all under £4 per set. I tend to not go above £3.50 because I want all of my kits to be affordable for everyone. And there will also be a special discount code for those of you who purchase. So if you purchase something from my shop, you should then get a message on your Etsy saying you get 10% off your next order. And in the coming week or so, I will be adding a new discount code to the YouTube, so that if you're a follower of my YouTube, you can enter this discount code and you will get more off your purchase. So that's that kit. The next kit I wanted to show you was some pagan ephemera. So we've already got pagan ephemera kit 1, which you've seen, and that is still on the Etsy. I wanted to make another set, but this time have some envelopes included. So we've got a variety of envelopes here with varying degrees of decoration. I have always found that finding pagan or witchy ephemera is actually quite difficult without it being in your face Halloween, and I wanted to change that. So I've tried to pick images and things that I would like to use in my practice. So I will never make anything that I don't like myself. So everything you see that I've made, I will use or have used in my journals. So that's the first page. The second page here, a couple of these aren't necessarily pagan, but they can be used in pagan journals. So obviously this isn't necessarily pagan, nor is this or these two, but there's no reason why you couldn't use this tag for Ostara, because there's a nice bunny rabbit. You might want to use this for Beltane, for romance. Obviously we've got a cat in a pumpkin up here, that's clearly Samhain. This would be nice for Letha, as would this, and obviously the little tree can be used any time of year. On this page, I wanted to focus on Mother Nature and nature magic, so that's what I've done. We've got a nice woodland envelope here with some lace detail. We've got smaller bits with pentagrams and pentacles on, and another small envelope. So I find that these are nice neutral things that I can add to my journals or books of shadows, either as decoration or to write on. On this page, again, not necessarily pagan related or witchy related, but they can be. Obviously, things like this and this are more witchy and pagan, but if you like owls and other birds and things, those are included. If you are pagan, you will know yourself that it is a very nature-based religion or spiritualism or practice, and all of these nature images really do work well with anything that you do in your pagan practice. So I wanted a really nice range of things that people can use. And the last page, so that's 5 altogether. All of my kits will have 5 pages in, okay? We have a variety of ephemera on here too. All different sizes and colours. Again, very nature-based, some of these. And these are a nice size that you can back these with some of the vintage backing paper on my Etsy, and you can write on those. Perhaps you've done a spell or a ritual and you just want to make a couple of notes about that. Something like this is perfectly good size-wise to just write a couple of bits of notes on. All right. So that's the 2 kits I wanted to show you, but there are actually 4 or 5 new ones on the Etsy. And if you haven't been to my Etsy before, this is very indicative of what's on there, plus my physical journals are on there also. So the other day in the last video, I showed you some ephemera that I'd made, and I actually went ahead and made lots more. Yesterday, I spent the entire afternoon making all these bits of ephemera just from scraps and things that I had. So we're going to have a little look at some of these just to give you some inspiration on different things that you can make. And some of these are the vintage paper that have then been collaged over the top with scraps. So you can see here we've got a nice variety. Some of these have been made into tag shapes like this, and I couldn't be bothered to get the sewing machine out, so I just put fake stitching in. Perfect way if you can't be bothered to get your sewing machine, or if you don't have a sewing machine, just put some fake stitches on works wonders. Here's a thicker one. This is just cardboard. Again, the Amazon packaging, you know, when you just order something like a pack of pens and it comes in the long, thin cardboard. I've just cut them into tag shapes and decorated them. So some of these are the ones that I showed you in the last video. They've just been added to the pile. My daughter helped me make this one, and she wanted thick stitching, so she's put thick stitching around there. And here comes Douglas. Apologies. What have you found? A packet of some sort. And we added a nice brad on there. So a nice variety, really. Some different stitching there. And these are all relatively neutral. So we'll work in a variety of journals or books of shadows. And that's why I wanted to make these, just to fill up my tub of ephemera so that I had plenty to use. Let's move these ones out of the way and then we can move on to some more. They start to blur into each other after a little while. And I like to make them all different sizes, using different techniques and colours. I'm aware a lot of you aren't here for ephemera making, you're here for the pagan side of things. But this, for me, is an important part of my practice. It's meditative, it gives me a space to write notes, it keeps my creativity flowing, and it gives me something to keep busy with. So there's a few more. Obviously you can pause the video at any time if you like the look of something, and perhaps then you can copy what I've made. Now I could have made a video of making all this ephemera, but so far the channel is mostly pagans, so I'm trying to fit in stuff for everybody, people that want to make ephemera and all that sort of thing. There will be videos for you too, but for now I'm mostly trying to concentrate on the pagan side of things because that seems to be the most popular. And as I said before, this to me suits both because these are perfect for putting into your books of shadows and journals with notes on. So there's some more. And again, some are cardboard, some are backed papers that I've then collaged over the top. It's all made from scraps though. All of the colours in the background, that's all scraps of paper. So all of this is scraps of paper and I've used those to decorate. So here's some more. And if you're not a pagan that would normally do much decorating in your books of shadows, or feel you're not good at drawing or anything like that, this is a really good step to help you put a bit of colour and pizzazz in your books of shadows. Finding digital kits that have the artwork that you like and then just putting them together in whatever form you like. So there's some more. And if there's enough interest, I may well list some of my pre-made ephemera that I've made on the Etsy to send out to people in the UK. It would be a bit hard to send them out to the US. It will take a long time with the postal strikes and things that we've had here in the UK. But if you're in the UK and interested in purchasing some ephemera, let me know in the comments below or message me on my Facebook, and if there's enough interest, I will list some on Etsy. Because although I love every single piece, and I would use every single piece, it's going to take me a long time to make all of the different bits of ephemera that I've made. And my box is pretty full. This is a little flippy file folder for something different. No, I dropped a piece of ephemera. Sorry, my head's going to be in shot. There we go. So yeah, this is what I spend my afternoons doing if I'm not working on digital art or researching or making a journal. If I'm not feeling great, this is the sort of thing I will sit and do for a couple of hours or an afternoon. Now the children are back at school, thankfully, because it's been half term here in the UK. I've got some extra time when I am able to sit and get some bits done. And some of these I have added lace to, like this one. Put these down here so we've got a bit more space. And there we are. So that's the last ones. And all of these, as I said, were made in a couple of hours because I already had the scraps. I already had the printouts and the stickers. And it was just a case of gluing it all together, really. And I like to make things in bulk so that then I get it over and done with. And I try and do a big make of ephemera at least once a month, unless there's something specific I'm working on. You know, if I was doing a mushroom journal, for example, that is what I would focus on. I'd be looking for mushroom images and getting all of that printed. So the other thing I wanted to show you was some research that I've been doing for our Bougeot Pagan Challenge about butterflies. So I spent a good probably 3 hours last night looking through books and looking through websites and picking information that I found useful. So I started with some brief history and then the life cycle of a butterfly, talking about their evolution and what their colours signify, such as, you know, being poisonous to some predators. So the bright colourful butterflies are the colour that they are because they, as caterpillars, ingest poisonous and toxic plants, so that as they evolve into the butterfly, they basically become toxic themselves. And there's also some other butterflies that, sorry, Douglas is barking at something. They actually have evolved over thousands and thousands of years to look similar to these toxic butterflies, but they don't eat the toxic plants, which I found really interesting. And then we moved on to butterfly gardens and how to set up a more pleasant environment for butterflies, how to bring more butterflies to your garden, some plants here, and it talks about host plants where butterflies can lay eggs so that the caterpillars will stay on that plant, eat as much as they can before they turn into butterflies. And after talking to my girls, they really want to get one of those butterfly kits. You can get them on Amazon, where you get sent some caterpillar eggs and, you know, a big mesh thing that you can put them in. Douglas, no thank you. He's gone into guard dog mode because the neighbour has gone out to her car. Apologies. So yeah, we're going to get one of those, and they're normally about £20, I think, but you can get a bigger set. You don't need anything. Douglas, excuse me. No, thank you. It's like having a mouthy teenager in the house. So yeah, we're going to get one of those, and I will keep you up to date on that when we purchase it. I will do a little video of the girls opening it and how we did it, and you know, how we looked after them. And I will be taking photos and things, because all of that I want to put in my little journal that we make. Then we move on to the general meaning of butterflies, just in general, not specific. And moving on to dreams and the colours of butterflies, what those mean. And you can see here my writing's all in different colours, because I've gone away for a bit and then come back, and I use one of those clicky pens that's got 3 or 4 colours on, and that's why I end up with different colours, because I don't really pay attention, because I won't be keeping any of this. This is just my notes ready for writing up neat. And you can see that my writing isn't all that neat when I'm just scribbling things down. I then moved on to symbolism and superstitions, and I actually found a lot of interesting information on the websites that I showed you in the previous video, and that linked me on to other websites and other books. So yeah, I'm not going to do all of this for you. I need you to be able to go out and find your own research. I've given you 2 websites to look at, and when you look through those, again, you will pick certain aspects of that you want to research and run with it, because I don't want you to have the same information as me. This is information that I'm interested in, and if you're interested in it, that's brilliant, crack on. But if I do it all for you, then it's not the process. It's the process of doing it yourself that makes it magical. And then the last page here is talking about spirit guides, you know, as butterflies, spirit guides, and as a totem or power animal. So yes, that's all my notes. Douglas, what are you barking at? There's no point just sitting there and looking at me. There's nobody out there. There isn't. All gone. So anyway, apologies again. If you want to head over to my Etsy shop, please do. There is a link below. And as I said, once you've made a purchase, you should then get a message with a 10% discount code that can be used on anything, whether it's the physical journals or the ephemera. And there isn't a spend limit. You can just buy 1 item or 10 items to get, you know, to use the discount on. That's totally up to you. I will be adding more and more, but I am interested to find out what sorts of things you would like to see on the Etsy shop, because I'm running the Etsy shop. Oh dear, excuse me. I've set the Etsy shop up to get a bit of income in, to be able to still make all these things for you guys, without having to, you know, scrimp and save too much out of my own personal money. So the idea is that I get a little bit of income coming in from that Etsy shop. So if there's nothing on there that you're interested in at the moment, please let me know what you would be interested in, and I will see what I can do about that. But for now, that's all from me, and I hope to see you in the next video, which will be about the Bougeot Pagan Challenge. Blessings.